everyone, welcome to this Video Some Frontier video. My name is Jay Wakefield and today I'm going to show you something a wee bit special. Now this is an Apple laptop, it's aluminium, and it kind of reminds me of my old MacBook Pro, but this is actually the predecessor to the MacBook Pro. What this is a PowerBook G4, and it's one of the 2005 models. Now, I know I recently got the G3, but I quite fancied getting a G4 because I knew that it would be probably more powerful for GarageBand. So, let's have a look at this machine. First off, I'd like to say that I do like Apple's older machines and older designs because they actually offered more upgradeability for users. So, on the left side we have the power input. That is quite loose and that does worry me a bit. I hope it's not going to let go anytime soon. Then we have a 56K modem, USB port, microphone and headphone, and a PCM-CIA slot. Fantastic. On the front, we have the lid release button, and we have the tray loading optical drive. And then on the other side, we have a Kensington lock slot, another USB port, Firewire port, mini Firewire port, is that? No, it actually looks more like some sort of a display. I don't know. I'm sure someone will tell me in the comments and I'll feel stupid. I'm really sorry about this, guys. Ethernet port, S-video out, and DVI. And it's not really that often you do see DVI on laptop computers. So, let's have a look inside then. So obviously this was, before the Intel Macs and before they went to lids that closed just using magnets. This does use a magnet, it has a magnet in there that actually pulls the catch down. You can see there's no catch at the moment. But if we actually close the lid, if you just kind of watch very closely at the screen. And there you can see there's a catch. And then you press the lid all the way down and it's locked in place. Quite fancy. A wee bit unnecessary as well. But then again, this was what Apple liked to do. They kind of like to make unique designs. But this was back in the day when these machines could be worked on. Now, okay, removing the hard drive out of one of these is not as easy as a MacBook or a later model MacBook Pro, like the 2009 unibody. But it is a lot easier to upgrade this than it would be to upgrade a brand new MacBook Pro Retina one, which only allows you to, doesn't really allow you to upgrade much on it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put my own version, I'm actually going to put my own install on here. For some reason the video went off and yeah, Facebook came up. I don't know what it was. I have been out, it's been absolutely bucketing it down the day though. So that could have something to do. Yeah. So this version of OS X is actually it's actually Leopard. And it's not too bad, but it's certainly not what I would go for. Given even half a choice. And it is someone else's install. Disk insertion. The disk you inserted was not readable on this computer. Oh, which disk was that? Thought I heard something. Let's test the optical drive, shall we? And what's with this Apple logo? Seriously? So let's have a look at some of the software on here. We have Office 2004, iMovie HD, iDVD, and disk insertion. The disk you inserted is not readable by this computer. That could be a bit of a problem. I don't understand. I hope it'll boot from the CD. I'll not be happy because it didn't actually say that the optical drive wasn't working in the auction. I mean, it could just be the Leopard install. So this... Ignore. So this kind of looks like it's an install that's kind of been used. Doesn't look like a clean install. Applications, we've got backup, Epson printer utility, Big Bang board games, desktop transporter, expose, front row. I loved front row. That was kind of like a media center for Mac OS. So, for example, can you mind how there was a way to invoke it actually? There we go. This takes me right back. Oh, wow. Right. Anyway, enough of that. I'm just gonna have another wee look at the applications, and we'll take a wee look at the specifications of the machine as well. Front row, GoBan, Google Earth, ImageWell, iPhoto, someone's put iWork08 on here, as well as Office 04, Text Tool Deluxe, Text Wrangler, I've used that in the past actually, UnRarX, and LogMeIn. We actually use LogMeIn at the office. I reckon this laptop has actually been used maybe for business, or I don't know, maybe, well, obviously home use as well. So, let's see if I can restart and boot from the Tiger CD. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press and hold the C button. Well, it's doing something. And it's not doing a spinny circle at the moment, so that would suggest that it's booting from a CD, as booting from the disk. The CD-ROM actually takes longer. And I'm not sure it can decide whether it's charged or not, because this light has been changing from green to orange to green to orange, and I'm back to green, so I don't know what's going on there. Although the battery is probably a bit toast. See, look, it's went back to being orange. I do have a power adapter that went with my G3 as well, and because it's a newer G3, hopefully it should fit with this one. I never did have a look at the specs actually last time, did I? I just got really quite anxious about, does the DVD drive work or does it no? They can. Hopefully it'll work fine. And it looks like the keyboard lights up as well. Right, this appears to be working. So, macOS 10, 10.4. We're going to use English as a default language. We're going to try and find the mouse pointer, and we're going to fail. That's what we're going to do. So now it's away doing what it's got to do. Now, I want to format this hard drive. It's a 150 gig. I actually bought this machine. I do know the specs of it. It's got a 1.25, I believe, gigahertz PowerPC G4. Not the fastest one, but I mean it's perfectly fine. It's got a some memory, a gigabyte, and it has a 150 gigabyte hard drive. So, you know, I'm really quite happy about the specs. And it'll probably give my G3 a run for its money. I'm gonna keep the G3 because it was a birthday present from Road Geek. So, you know, I'm not planning to let that go anytime soon. But I mean, I must admit, I do like these older Macs, and it kind of brings me back to when, you know, to the short time that I was on a Mac. Right, so what we're gonna do, I'm going to format this 150. Actually, no, I would say that this is probably actually a 160 gig drive, because usually the formatted capacity of a 160 is 149 gigs. But I can check the model number. Right, and what I'm going to go is macOS Extended, and I'm going to call it there we go. So, going to go erase. I'll erase the drive, and this will be just a quick erase. So there it is, partitioned. Made a new partition called Macintosh HD. So now I'm just going to close disk utility. Now we're going to go into the installer, and we're actually going to install OS 10. Let's have a look at the options, see what bits I want to install. Let's erase and install, just to be doubly sure. Right, and then we're going to have a look at the applications. I might actually install HP printer drivers. But while this is installing, I think the time is right for a cup of tea. I mean, no, seriously, the time is right for a cup of tea. After that rainstorm I went through this morning, today's the sort of day that you just really should stay in a house, have a nice cup of tea, and spend your afternoon installing an operating system to a laptop. A couple things I need to set up. Zoom and the large mouse pointer. So to do this, I'm going to go into Preferences, Universal Access, Zoom on, and I can use Command Option 8 to turn it on, and the same keystrokes to turn it off. Command Option plus to zoom in, Command Option minus to zoom out. Right, so there we go. Then go to the mouse trackpad settings, and yeah, I'll just kind of change my mouse pointer size. There we go, quite a nice wee size. And if I go to mouse and keyboard, what I like is that the trackpad and the mouse can be changed independently. I think, you know, that is something that Windows machines could have done with a long time ago. So if I go to the mouse settings, and then the tracking speed, there we go. And then it's just a case of trying to find the right one. There we go. So, with that all sorted, can actually do some updates. Oh, now this is a pain because you have to do 500,000 Java updates. Wow, this has got Bluetooth. Nice. Before we do anything, why don't we have a look at what this machine's got in it? So at the moment we're on version 10.4 of OS 10. Like I said, I'll update it and then that will put me to 10.4.11. 1.25 gigahertz PowerPC G4 with 1 gig DDR SD RAM. If I go into the system profiler, J. Wakefield's PowerBook G4 15-inch. Right. ATA. Let's have a look what we've got. Matsushita DVDR. There's Matsushita and Matsushita. That's quite confusing. ATA bus. A hard disk. OS 9 drivers. No. Now, this brings me on to another question. Can this machine run Classic? I'm not entirely sure that the later G4 PowerBooks could, but I suppose I could find out. If not, it's not the end of the world, because I still have my G3. Journaled HFS Plus, mount point slash. It's definitely showing its Unix roots there. Audio built in. Texas Instruments, TAS3004. Very nice. Bluetooth, yep, we have some. Apple Bluetooth software version 1.6. Bluetooth file transfer, no. Requires authentication. State disabled. That seems a bit odd. I can too send a file. See, now that brings back memories of when I used to set my phone up with Bluetooth. I used to try using my phone to log on, and it was kind of a lucky dip as to whether it would work or not. I remember I used to keep the dialing control panel up there as well, so it'd be just click the wee telephone and then connect via Vodafone 3G, and then it'd be like connecting, authenticating, disconnecting. It's like, why would it need to disconnect? Oh wait, it's not worked yet again. But sometimes it did. Anyway, diagnostics. Power on self-test, last run. 0407 2015 1528. Result passed. Good. Really glad about that. Matsushita DVDR UJ-816. Interconnect Atapi. Bound support, yes. Apple shipped supported. Cache, 2048 kilobytes. Reads DVD, yes. CD write -R-RW. DVD write -R-RW. Buffer underrun protection CD, yes. Buffer underrun protection DVD, yes. Blah 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 blah. And then media, if I had a disc in there. Media type DVD-R. Should be there. Is it actually going to read? Is it going to open? Yes, it does. Pure panic in there. There we go. It's mounted on the desktop. Right, good. So that kind of works. Fiber channel, no information found. Firewire. It's Firewire 800. Graphics displays. ATI Mobility Radeon 9600. Type display. Bus AGP 64 megs. ATI. And we get to see what display this machine has. 1280 by 854, which is a bit odd. Normally 1280 by 800. So it's just a little off of the aspect ratio 16 by 10. Let's have a look. Whoops, I'm a daisy. Desktop. Nope. Whoops, I'm a daisy. Try displays. Yeah, 1280 by 854. Excellent. And color. Colors, millions, thousands, or 256 colors. Right. So if I go to memory, apparently one of the slots is empty. I thought these had 512 megs built in and could go up to 1.5 gigs. Well, PC cards, no information found. PCI cards, name card bus, type card bus, PCI, slot PC card, vendor ID, device ID, revision ID. Parallel SCSI. Nope. Power, AC power, blah blah blah. Let's have a look at what the battery's doing. 030 until full. I'm gonna show percentage, I think. 76%. So it is kind of charging, which is nice. Printers, no information found. Serial ATA, again, no information found. USB, and there's USB ports. And then my Microsoft Basic Optical Mouse 2.0. Yes, I do have that mouse. Fantastic mouse these, actually. Just for basic usage. Network, airport card, firewall, locations, modems, a last dash modem, I like that. USB. Volumes, software, applications. Yeah, and basically these now are all applications, extensions, fonts, frameworks, logs, preference panes, startup items. Nothing really that interesting. All it really does is lets you click through them too fast and then you end up with the spinning white. Look at that. Boink. 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 There we go. So, let's see if we can shut the system profiler down. I'll tell you what we'll do. We will install pretty much everything. Let's do some updates. So, there we go. That is going to go ahead now and download everything that I need. So, tell you what I'll do. I will jump cut and I will be right back once this has all updated. Well, we're back, and well, I'm back, and I'm joined by Billy Carr and Luke Miller. Hey, I've got Billy Carr here because he doesn't really do much of anything with Macs, and I've got Luke here because he likes to use Linux on PCs built with gigabyte motherboards. So both are very, very, very well qualified to be in a video about a PowerBook G4. I was going to invite It's My Natural Colour to come and join us, but then I remembered he's not into Macs all that much, is he?
Well,
Hang on a minute.
it's not, you know.
No, he absolutely hates them, if I can remember rightly. Yeah.
He thinks they suck.
Yeah, he can't stand them. Kidding on. Obviously, It's My Natural Colour is a massive Mac aficionado. And I don't know him personally, and it would be a bit odd if I did Skype call him. He'd be like, yeah. Anyway, so I've actually installed all the updates, including all the Java updates, and it took a lot less time on this than it did on the G3. I mean, seriously, you would think that this has got 450 more megahertz, a newer architecture, and 4 times the amount of memory, the way this thing acts. Anyway, time to install some apps. Firstly, I want to install iLife 06. Now, what I did is I just kind of copied the files to a thumb drive. No, really, a thumb drive. It's going to be the strangest thing in the world now. Like, you've got a PowerBook with a human appendage growing out of it. Thumb. Now, slightly interesting issue here. Hang on, no. Excellent. So what I will do is, I think I'm literally just going to copy over iLife 06 to the hard disk drive. In fact, I'll just kind of copy it to my documents folder. Now, this says it's going to take a while to copy, so why don't we install Microsoft Office? Now, what I'm about to show you did cost me a fair amount of money. Microsoft Office 2008 Business Edition. Now, I bought this edition because I needed Microsoft Exchange support, and I'd have to buy the more expensive version of Office to get it. And this was the last version of Office to use Entourage. After that, there was Office 2011, which used Outlook, and I was very, very, very excited because Outlook is just much, much better than Entourage could ever have even dreamed of being. But Entourage did work, so it was fine while it lasted. But as soon as Office 2011 came out, I was down the Apple Store going, yes, I think I will have a copy of this. Now, I did used to use this on my MacBook Pro and my iMac, but when I actually sold those machines, I reformatted them and basically just pre-installed them, you know, with a basic macOS 10.8 Mountain Lion install. Now they've stopped naming versions of OS 10 after big cats. We've got Mavericks. Okay, Mavericks. Bunch of cheap Ford SUVs. Thanks. Yosemite. Nice national park. And now we have El Capitan, which is something.
Because it's Apple running out of ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next version is going to just be probably simply Mac OS 10.12. Bleh.
Good.
Yeah. And it's just going to be like indiscriminate noises, like Mac OS 10. There's going to be a version in the future that's going to be called Mac OS 10. Mac OS 10. Bleh. And then there's going to be Macintosh 10. Chewbacca noise.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna go off and struggle to enter this product key, and I will be right back. So I managed to write my product key in. Didn't really struggle because I have this, the magnifier. Anyway, gonna click continue now. Okay, Office Install recommends that you quit all running applications before continuing. Want to quit? Call the NHS Kick the Habit line now. Oh wait, that's not what I was talking about. The installer may change existing fonts, which can cause running applications to become unstable. To avoid problems, quit all running applications before you continue the installation. Right. I want to install it on here. And I'm going to continue. One moment. And now we're installing Office. So I do believe this will take some time. Don't know how well Office 2008 is going to run on here. And I don't even know if it's going to run at all. Because like I said, I did have it on 2 computers previously. But then it does have 3 licenses. And I have uninstalled it from the other 2 machines. So it's just now a case of letting it install everything. And I'll be right back once it has installed. And then we'll be able to install iLife. Okay, so now Office is installed. So time for me to take a nice wee nostalgia trip back to a time that wasn't actually that good. But it must have been good enough for me to be able to actually have a modern Mac. Yep. This is taking its sweet old time. I bet if I'd have decided to run Office 2004 in here, it would have been screaming along. Now, let me show you a wee trick with Office 2008. As you can see, in its default form, you know, with the large buttons on the title bar, and that stupid formatting pane, whatever it is. Yeah. No. Gonna get rid of that. Also, we're going to resize the window so it actually fits right across the screen. Next, what we're gonna do, gonna select icons only, and then in toolbars we're gonna select the formatting toolbar, the tables and borders toolbar, and yeah, the drawing toolbar still is kind of the older format. However, Microsoft Word actually looks like its own application now. It kind of looks it's not just a hodgepodge of windows just on the desktop anymore. It's actually a lot tidier to use, and that for me it makes all the difference. Now if only I could actually zoom into whoops, I seem to have called up the help. Oh well. Can go to page width, and then what I can do then, format, font, Arial, size 14, it's what I like. Don't start hating. So there you have it. Yay! Summertime is here, so drink some lovely strawberries while swimming in an outdoor beer and enjoying an ice-cold pint of swimming pool.
Okay.
Damn it, something's wrong.
Is Kermit the Frog there?
No, but normally I like to title my work. That's what must be wrong. There we go. Now that I've done that, I'm not going to save it. So I think what I will do is I will end this video here. And what I'm going to say is I hope you've all enjoyed watching this video. If you have, please feel free to subscribe. Like me on Facebook, the Videos on Frontier channel, and feel free to follow me on Twitter. The URLs will follow. And let's see, do you guys have anything you want to say about this machine?
We'll let Luke do it, because I have nothing against Macs, but I don't know enough about them to really say anything that would make common sense.
Well, all I can say is those were some of the last Apple machines that were worth buying, really. After the Intel switchover, they just became like any other OEM. They were pretty good for a while, but even after that, they started to go downhill and become, as Brandon Bishop would say, they started to make pretty things that work for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But back then, they were special because of that RISC processing in the CPU. And that's one of the last of those machines.
Yeah, I mean, now you generally don't find personal computers. Well, certainly not full-size ones. I'm not going to count things like the Raspberry Pi. You generally don't find personal computers with anything other than the Intel x86 architecture now. But to be honest, the way that Apple dropped support for PowerPC when they actually started going with Intel CPUs, I really don't think I'd want Apple to change again. I mean, I'd heard all sorts of rumors that Apple could switch to their own kind of A series chips at any time, which are based on ARM CPUs. For their desktop and laptop machines, but those are literally just rumors, and they might not even be true. They probably aren't.
It depends. I don't know. Some rumors are pretty accurate. Some are just like weird speculation.
So I really don't know where we stand on that, but it wouldn't entirely surprise me if Apple one day suddenly decided, right, forget all this Intel nonsense, we're actually going to use our own chips. It would make sense, actually, with them. I could imagine Apple doing that with them, when they decide that OS X is finally ready to die.
Yeah.
Could move again to a completely different architecture.
The place I could see them doing that is on the MacBooks, the new MacBooks, the ones that have the Core Ms in them.
Aye.
That's where I could see that happen if they start making their own chips.
Yeah. And then in years after, they'll probably phase it into the iMacs.
Yeah, I mean, they probably actually phase it in, unlike Microsoft with the Surface RT. That was
that literally was just one device. And it was a tablet, and people were used to having ARM-based tablets at the time, so it wasn't as though Microsoft said, right, Windows 8 is only supported on ARM processors, and then everyone's like, oh.
That would be grounds for a lawsuit, more than likely.
Well, didn't seem to affect Apple when they dropped PowerPC support like that.
Yeah, well.
But then again, not as many people use Macs as use Windows. So I mean, as much as watching old Computer Chronicles episodes where they're sponsored by that magazine whose slogan is "Because the world runs on Windows," and as much as that slogan annoys me, a lot of the world does run on Windows. So Microsoft couldn't do that sort of stupid behaviour that Apple like to engage in. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to end this video now. Like I said, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Hope you've all enjoyed this video, and please do feel free to join me for my next one. There's a lot of exciting things actually coming up. We're going to be looking at the AT custom built, which I've actually managed to fix up and get going. We're going to be taking a look at the legend of... we're actually going to be taking a look at the Zoombeanies logical journey. And we're actually going to be taking a trip back in time to my childhood using a Windows XP box. So, and actually my early childhood back when Windows XP wasn't even a thing. And the only XP initials on a computer belonged to the Dell Latitude series of the time. So, please stay tuned to the channel, and I will see you all next time. New videos Wednesdays and Saturdays. Cheery bye.